Well, I'm joined here by Grandmaster RB Ramesh, who has achieved another special feat. Ramesh, congratulations! Your student Pranesh has become a Grandmaster, and a very special feeling this is. So, firstly, how are you feeling about it?
Hello, Sagar. Thanks for this opportunity. Yeah, really happy because for me also this is a very special achievement because he's really from a very tough economic background, and his parents are very innocent, very naive, you can say. They don't know much about the chess field, and so the child has taken all the responsibility on his shoulders, like, and whatever opportunities that came his way, he made good use of it, and he has become a grandmaster at a reasonably young age. So hopefully this will be a very good start for him, and he can scale greater heights. His family desperately needs that, and also is such a good talent. Without much preparation, like most other players, he's playing using his raw talent. So that is very nice to see.
Yeah, there are a few things which you mentioned which I wanted to talk about. So, firstly, he comes from a small town called Karaikudi, which is around 8 hours away from Chennai. So, how did you meet him first? Like, what was and when did that happen?
I think probably like when he was 10 years old. Now he's 16, probably 9 or 10 years old. So usually the parents reach out and ask if we can work together. That's how it happened. And in his case, like he could not even afford to travel from his place to here with parent because both were in a tough financial situation, so they had to be there and do some work to earn. So they cannot be away from Karaikudi for a longer period and very frequently. So he had to travel alone. So at a very young age, he started
At 10
travel.
years old, he used to
No,
travel alone.
not 10, probably like till from 10 to 12, he was coming with parents. But then probably from 12, he started traveling alone. So I will just inform him by WhatsApp, like we are having camp. And sometimes it will happen like some of my other commitment will get cancelled at the last minute. So I'll just message him like, can we have a class from tomorrow? And I will message in the evening like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and then he will immediately say okay sir, and then he will catch a bus. He will come in the morning and attend the class in the morning. So like very innocent fellow in this sense. And yeah, so like he is totally addicted to chess, and he doesn't have, like, he did not have computers at home to prepare on his own. So whenever he gets a chance to see chess, he will take that opportunity. Yeah.
You
So
had tweeted when he became a GM that, or maybe a day before that, he did not even have a laptop till he became an IM, which is so surprising.
yeah, they could not afford it, and so he got a second-hand laptop subsequently after becoming an IM, and then last year, uh, Group E for Anand, which he has created, they donated a laptop to him, so which is what he is using, and it's also like a very basic model which can meet his needs, but a better laptop of course will help him. And in the last few months, there is a private group, Hopspace.
Right.
So they are supporting him financially to play in tournaments. And now that he has won the Rilton Cup, I think his things are getting better for him.
So he is financially comes from a very humble background. What is the occupation of his parents?
Okay, his mother, she is working in an Anganwadi. So they have Palwadi Anganwadi concept, which is basically like in the villages. There are daily laborers who are working in farms or doing all kinds of physical labor, and the mothers, they cannot be with the children during the working hours. So the local government, they have these Palwadi Anganwadis throughout the country, where the some of the ladies in that locality, they go to a place where others, like a childcare, uh,
Correct.
like we have in the cities. So they have something similar where the children go and are given their custody, and these ladies, they cook food and make them make sure that they are fed, and also they also teach school things, like whatever they know. They also teach them provide some basic education. So they don't have a formal room or anything. They don't have a formal structure in most cases.
Got
So it
it.
is just below a tree, something like that. So in one such center, his mother is working, and his father, he's working in a textile shop, uh, where they're selling clothes. So he cannot be away from the shop for long. So this is the background.
Right, right. And I think he also has a brother who is a chess player,
Yeah.
Dinesh Rajan. And he also is quite, he was actually stronger than him. He taught a lot of things to him, I guess.
Yeah. So initially, like, uh, he was also playing, but not very active anymore. And Pranesh has just broken through to a different level now.
Correct, correct. And when you first met him, what were the qualities of him that you found that are really good about him?
Yeah. One thing is like very similar to Aravind, I would say. Aravindh Chithambaram and Pranesh, there is a lot of similarity. Of course, like most of these players are very talented, but that is not very special anymore. There are like so many children very talented. Most of them we don't even know about. So that is not very unique anymore. But the individual qualities are nice to see. Like in both Aravindh Chithambaram and Pranesh, they are not players who prepare very studiously and try to play like theoretical chess or following chess principles rigidly, kind of thing. Like in when you have more space,
Don't
don't
exchange
exchange pieces
pieces.
like this. Generally, like players try to follow a certain way of thinking, but with Arvind and Pranesh, they are happy to just be very creative at every phase of the game, like kind of creating their own principles. Like Arvind, when he was young, he played knight of 3, knight of 6, rook g1, this kind of thing. So it's like it breaks all the non-norm existing norms. So they want to. So it doesn't. What they do doesn't have to be follow what is generally accepted by everyone. So traditional way. They want to create their own path, even if it is slightly dubious. They are fine with it because they are more practical. It kind of puts off the opponent. They have to face something very crazy over the board.
But as
So
a trainer, you have to keep that in check, right? Because if it goes like to the extreme, it can impact their results. So, but also if you tell them to follow the principles and all, it will take away from their natural game. So it's not
yeah.
an easy balance.
Yeah, so the main thing is like we should not try to change their nature, but we can help them in evolving into a better version of what they are. So that is what I believe in. I should not try to make them like how I see chess as this is how chess should be played, and I should not make them play the same way. It won't work. Everyone has their own views, strengths, and weaknesses. So, but the thing is, like, we can always make them do certain things very well. Like everyone, whether he is a practical player or a theoretical player, they can learn to calculate well. They can learn to play end games well. So there are some places where they have to do certain things in the objectively correct way, but in many areas they also have scope for creativity. Like in opening choice, they can always come up with all kinds of crazy ideas.
Right.
Also, like in the middle game, also they can play some normal move, but they can play a very crazy move, and they show creativity. So all that is open to them. Yeah. So it's fun to work with such players also.
Right, right. When such a player comes in and you see that he is talented, he also is very ready to work hard and he loves chess. But at the same time, you notice that financially he is not very solid. He cannot travel to tournaments. And this I have seen number of your students manage to surpass the financial threshold. Like for example, Arvind came from a humble background, even Pranesh. So how do you manage this thing related to finances? Because chess coaching itself is so expensive.
Yeah, so um, I don't want to go public, but training is not an issue for them. So that is taken care. So the main challenge is to travel for tournaments. That is the bigger challenge. And generally, the trend is, even when I was young, like once a player in my time, like when a player reaches like 2300, they stop playing. Mostly in India, they try to play mostly in Europe, but now it is like even 1400, 1500 players, they are playing in Europe most of the time. So it has kind of become a necessity. If you want to increase your rating quickly or make norms quickly, you have to play in Europe. That is unfortunately the kind of situation we have. So it becomes very prohibitively expensive for the players. Even someone in the middle class, if they're going to travel very often, it's not going to be easy. So for people from below the middle class, it's a nightmare for them. So like we try to just ask our friends, whomever we come in contact with. One good thing is like I'm working with Prag and such players who are popular. So we get a chance to meet with some people who can afford to help. So we get in whenever we get such opportunities. I try to talk to them, explain like there are some children who would require any help.
Yes.
So
I
and
remember there was
many of
this
them are very kind. Yeah,
one example where you had written Peter Long had given a laptop
laptop.
and
Yeah,
then you had given it to a
it
student.
was like a shock. Like I went to Dubai when Nepomniachtchi Magnus Carlsen match was going on. But basically, like me and Prag were having a camp simultaneously in Dubai before the Tata Steel Masters. So when we were there, when I went to the playing hall, Peter Long just walked in with the laptop, and I was just walking in with Prag, and he said, "Hi Ramesh, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine, Peter. How are you?" And he said, "Okay, good that I saw you. I'm having this laptop, and I don't know what to do with this. I was saying like to whom I can give. I found the right person. Have this." So I am suddenly having a laptop in my hand. Yeah, so it just happened.
Absolutely. And I think such help does contribute towards someone's chess career at the
Yes,
end of the
yes.
day.
Yeah, there are like many who are doing it very anonymously. Grateful to all of them. So
Fantastic.
otherwise, I know some people who are contributing financially. They pay like monthly 3,000, 4,000 rupees a month, something like that. And we have a trust, Chess Gurukul Charitable Trust, and the money comes into that account. Once we have a sizable amount, we just give to some child to travel abroad like this. And now recently, Anand has also started this initiative with Group E4. So they're able to reach more players, and you are doing a great job yourself.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we
think
just need more initiatives like this.
yeah, a lot of people coming in will help to create not just talents but take them to the grandmaster level like
Right.
Pranesh has done. But what would you say is the challenges now ahead that lie for him, because becoming a GM at the age of 16 is such a nice launch pad.
Yes, definitely. Now, generally, what happens is like, uh, even in my own case, like our aim was to become a GM. It was like a lifetime aim. We never wanted to become world champion. So just becoming a GM would be a lifetime ambition. So we thought like, if you become a GM, okay, everything is done. And then suddenly, when you become a GM, you are at a loss. Now, what to do with life? And in our times, we also got employment in oil companies that was there, and the generation before us, they got jobs in Indian banks, like Indian Bank, Union Bank, and all this. So when we get a job and you have achieved your lifetime ambition, and you are still young, you don't know what to do with life, and you kind of can. There is a tendency to kind of cool down, and you say, "Okay, now let's enjoy life," something like this, and that is extremely harmful for the game. Like you are not going to make rapid progress anymore. That fire, that hunger is kind of settled. It's like you have had your stomach full lunch. Now even if you see biryani, you don't want to eat.
Right.
Something like this. So it happened to me, it happened to many GMs of my generation. So that is kind of a cooling off period after a player becomes a GM. So but now you see all these youngsters, like they are becoming GM like when we started playing chess, and there is intense competition among so many good players. So there is always that fire on. So immediately after they finish the GM title, they are thinking, okay, next month I'm having this tournament. So for us, it's like next 6 months is like honeymoon period. So that should not happen. So I have to talk to Pranesh about this. So he has just reached his home today. So I will, when he's relaxed, I have to talk about this. So first thing, he should not think like, I mean, everything is done with. So he has to be in a mindset like this is just a beginning. Now this is a good launch pad I have. I have to go much higher. So that fire, hunger, we have to reignite if it is gone down a bit. That is one. And the second is like he needs more training, more frequent training. And also now he also has to work in a stronger group than currently what he is working with. So that adjustment we have to make. And like more training and playing in stronger tournaments. Wherever he can, we should try to give him that access. So for that, a sponsor will be really good. So already like we have been talking to a lot of people. Hopefully something will come out of it.
Right. Yeah, I think sponsors play a very important role, as we can see here. Hopspace has been one of the, has given him Globetrotter sponsorship. I saw this very nice picture of you and Pranesh. I think this was when he was maybe 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah, I think maybe just after the lockdown, I think, or maybe like when he made his first GM norm, just before the lockdown, I think, probably then.
Is he also someone who is very naughty, just like Arvind?
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very naughty.
Yeah, you can sense it from his smile
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he's very
Very
naughty.
mischievous guy.
And how many grandmasters have been created from Chess Gurukul Academy? Have you kept a tab on that?
No, initially I was keeping tab, but the problem is like at some point what started happening, like players are working with many coaches, other coaches. Like they will come here, and then when I'm not available, they go to a different coach. This culture started evolving, and then it is very difficult to take credit for such players. But from what I remember, okay, Aravindh, maybe Debashish Das. I work with many.
Right.
They became grandmasters, but sometimes like they also went to other coaches. So I don't know. Like
So you would say like Prag, Arvind, Pranesh, these are players who have been like working
yeah, throughout.
with chess.
Others I don't remember. Debashish Das, I was working earlier. Like I work with many, like
Yes, that I'm
Athulan,
aware of.
yeah, okay, all
That
this.
almost, I think at some point, almost all the players who went on to become GMs have at some point or the other, worked and interacted with you. So that has been huge. But I think from the start till here, and this shows that Pranesh's journey, how much you and Chess Gurukul have contributed towards it. So a huge congratulations to
Yeah.
you and the entire team at Chess Gurukul.
Thanks.